Good afternoon. We are here with Danielle Phillips from Hello SEO from Down Under. Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about Hello SEO.
Hey, Mike, thanks so much for having me. So Hello SEO is my business, and I started it coming up 18 months to 2 years ago. I was my background is I was a hair and makeup artist who realized I didn't want to face another bride again. I was totally over them, and I wanted to find oh, I know, they're hard work. So I wanted to find a way that I could make money online. So I did the whole, dabbled with multi-level marketing and failed spectacularly, like the whole thing blew up on us. And then I started selling on Amazon, and I needed a website, and I had no clue about websites and had to learn how to build a website, make it rent, drive some traffic to it. And then I got interested in rank and rent websites where you build a site, rank it, and then rent it out to a local tradesman. And that's what I've found I really liked doing. But along the way, we found that, because we're going for local SEO, and that's what I concentrate on, is that we needed them to look great, and Google reviews really matter, and it also helps the local rankings. And that's how we ended up talking today, all about local searches and how Google reviews help it all happen.
And how much, well, we know there's 200 plus factors that Google looks at. So how important is local in the ranking for SEO?
Okay, so how it comes down to it is, so what we're finding is it's more that you have to pay to play on Google's platform. And most local or small businesses, they're not going to rank organically. So the local, the map pack, that's where it's still free, and that's where the best results happen. I mean, it's something like 57% of all, click-throughs from a website can come from that Google map pack. It's a much lower amount. It's like in the 30% or something that it comes through from organic rankings. Because what Google likes to do is it likes to put directories there, because Google's all about trust and credibility. So it's always going to show the more trusted platforms first, which is like Yelp or Angie's List, or in Australia, it's High Pages. So for a small business to rank organically, it's really, really difficult, because you're not going to outrank a directory site, but you can rank well in the Google map pack. So that's where all the fun is.
But we also know that despite that, many searchers will ignore advertising, and they will ignore, they'll go right past the paid ads sitting at the top and look at the organic searches, right? I mean, of course,
absolutely.
If you're not on the first page, you might as well be dead. But if you can get on the first page within the first 3 or 4 listings, you have a chance of being seen at least.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I personally, I don't click on a Google ad because I know it's paid to be there. But when I know that it's in the map area, I know, well, that business is there for a reason. It must be okay. Either it's really close to me, or they're doing something right, or they've got good reviews. So I'm more likely to look in the map area, especially if I'm on my phone and I need something now. Then the map area is where I'm going to be, because I can see how local it is, and I can see the reviews straight away as well.
And you can get directions to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can click to call and everything. I'm not having to click through to a website. The Google My Business acts as like a little staging website for me. So everything's there.
And, those of us that have been in SEO for a while, we've seen our competitors, and that's the nicest word that I can call those people, that will make all kinds of promises about, we'll rank you number 1. What do you think of that kind of promise?
ranking number one for what? A keyword that's only got 2 searches a month, or for a keyword that's, you know, really going to make a difference to a website's traffic? The trouble is, Google just keeps changing the rules on organic rankings, and what could work one year all of a sudden stops working, and we've seen that. I mean, some of my rank and rent sites took an absolute beating last year. So that's the beauty about using Google My Business and pushing that. Google's not going to penalize itself. So if I send backlinks to the Google My Business, make sure it's all optimized, then I'm doing something right.
And, you know, one of the other trends that I think that Google is doing is capturing all that information so that you never leave Google, right? So, you know, they're not driving traffic to your website. What they're doing is they're driving traffic to Google My Business or Google Maps, and then connecting you directly from there. So if you don't have a presence on those two profiles, it's not that they, you know, Google is not trying to present you in Google Maps so that you click to your website, right? What you need is enough information on those platforms so that people can then get a hold of you directly through those platforms.
Oh, absolutely. We all know Google loves Google. So
Right.
even when I am directing traffic, I use YouTube, I use Google Sites, I use the little Google Map Parasite website. That's where I drive a lot of my links to, and and then I can then link from there to the actual money site. So if I drive everything to these Google properties, not only am I going to drive traffic and strength, I'm also looking after their money site as well, because I'm using the Google sites as all buffers.
And what is the best way to do that? How do you help your customers do that?
Okay, as in to build buffer sites or to get more rankings, or?
To make sure that you're appearing on maps and that you're appearing on Google My Business, you know, those, so that when, you know, that you're appearing on the places that Google wants to present.
All right, so what I tend to do, so Google loves itself. So when I'm setting up a website, I make sure, one, that all their Google My Business is set up right and they've got the right categories. This is where so many businesses go wrong, is there is a primary category, but there's also all these subcategories. So say someone like an electrician, they might have electrical contractor as their first category, but there's also HVAC, there's air conditioning installation, there's there's about 4 or 5 different categories that an electrician can actually have. So you've got to make sure that you do all of those. And then whatever that category is called in the Google My Business, I make sure that there's a page name as a service page with the same category name. So because if Google recognizes that as electrician, then hell, I'm going to have a page called electrician on a website. So it's an easier way to join the dots. And then also using Google My Business as like a bit of a social media site. If you're posting on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, post really good content on your Google My Business as well, and have your keywords in the posts. So if you want more work with a particular keyword, make sure that keyword is in the post. So really making yourself busy and using all of Google's tools that they give you.
And so, you know, one of the conundrums that we typically run into when we're working with our clients is when you're doing your keyword research, it needs to have enough traffic. And then typically if it has enough traffic, then it's too competitive. So how do you get around that? Like you can't win, right?
Well, for me, luckily in Australia, I use a lot of location words. So I'm in the city of Brisbane, look it up on Google, it's an amazing place. But if I'm using things like Brisbane plumber, Brisbane electrician, yeah, sure, there's going to be sort of about around 1,000 searches of them a month, but I know that's organic. But I know if I'm working on local, then there's not going to be those local guys around me or around my clients who will be smart enough to do the same thing to their Google My Business as well. And then that's where I can do all those posts, local electrician. Brisbane electrician, and also backing those up with what we were talking about with reviews is also make sure those keywords are in the reviews and also the responses that you give to the reviews that come in. So you're just constantly reinforcing with the right words in the right places.
But reviews are hard, right? So, I mean, we ask our clients, we beg our clients, please give us a review, and they don't. So what do you do there?
Okay, so apart from getting arrested for being a stalker, because there's only so many times you can chase a client down the road or send another email or a text message, and this is where we were getting stuck as well with my rank and rent websites and also with the client sites. It's like, can you please get some more reviews? And they would say, but I'm asking, I asked them and everyone promises. And it's like, have you sent an email? Here's your short link, the short link that you can create. I've done that. I've put it on my invoices and the customers are still not giving us reviews. And so I'm in this little SEO group of an accountability group, and one of the guys in there said, I've created this little review link that you can send to customers to ask them for a review, but it's more than Google. It's also like Google and Facebook, and in the UK there's Checkatrade, in TripAdvisor, Trustpilot, all these different review platforms, because they all actually matter. Even though Google loves itself, it's also monitoring what's going on the bigger platforms like Trustpilot or TripAdvisor, because if you're busy and active and you're being well represented there, it's still connecting the dots back to your company, your brand. So he said, all right, I've got this link. So we tried it. We were sending these review links out in text messages, and there just still wasn't the uptake. So that's when he said, okay, last option, let's try a tap card, or QR codes. So do you have like the tap cards in the US, or like even Apple Pay, where you can tap your phone up against something and it opens up the website?
Absolutely.
Right. So that's what these cards are. So this is one here that we made a little earlier. So it's a tap card, it's got a QR code, but it will also open up a phone. So the newer phones anyway. So if you've got an old brick, it's not going to work. But if you've got a newer Android or a newer iPhone, then it will open up on the phone. So what we found is for our face-to-face clients, like tradesmen or service providers like hairdressers or dentists, where they're actually seeing clients face-to-face, if they ask the client, if they would do a review and the client says yes, what if you could get them to review there and then on the spot and made it really, really easy and not awkward? Then the review rate would really go up a lot higher.
Especially before you've done the blowout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you say, leave us a review, and they go, yeah, of course I will. And then they go home and they never do. Yeah. But if you ask them on the spot while they're in love with what you've just done or provided or sold to them, then they will do it if you make it easy. And that's what we did, is we stopped that bottleneck. So if you like, I can show you how easy it is.
Please.
Yes. All right. So just let me, all right. So this is my phone. It's an Android. Okay, so if this was an iPhone, you tap at the top, that's where the card reader is. On an Android, you tap at the back. Okay, so it's opened up my internet. Now, I just hope my internet service is going to, there it is. Yeah. So now you can see that the review platforms are there on the phone, and I can choose from Trustpilot, Google, I can follow myself on LinkedIn, or I can leave a review on Facebook. So now all of a sudden a client has the opportunity to review right there on the spot. So imagine if they said, all right, I'm going to leave you a Google review, and they said to you, but what do I write? And then that's where you can go, well, how about you put in that I'm a local plumber that just unblocked your drains. So one, I've got the keyword local plumber in there, and I've just got unblocked drains as another keyword. And they said, okay, and they'll write that. And then imagine if you said to them, hey, would you take a photo of my van in your driveway, or take a photo of your new hairstyle, or whatever it is I've just provided, and add that to the review. And now the review's even more powerful, because as
Plus
we know,
Google like
Google
pictures, right? So, I mean, because
loves pictures.
yeah.
Taking photos of landmarks at a restaurant, taking photos of food.
You're cutting out on us.
Loves pictures.
Okay. You kind of cut out on us on a little of that last explanation.
Okay, so where do you want me to start again?
We were just sort of agreeing that Google loves photos, so we're good there. But
do you want me to say it again?
No. I think we got the point. What about, so, I mean, one of the things that we typically do when we're looking for keywords and we're looking, especially if we're about to write something, is we go down to the frequently asked questions. Do you guys use that?
Yes, we do.
Tell me about that.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I make sure that those questions that people ask, I also put them into my clients' Google My Business. So if if I've got an electrician and frequently asked questions, or what people ask, and people will say, well, how much does an electrician charge? I will ask that question onto my client's Google My Business, what do you charge as an electrician? And then respond to that. So I'm putting in that information into their Google My Business using
the most commonly asked questions. Yeah.
I'm also writing articles using if anyone's doing blog posts or article posts, you should be using those questions as your main topic or H1 headers anyway.
Right.
Because you're answering a question that Google wants you to answer. And
what is the difference that you're seeing as a result of using these types of techniques?
Oh, well, all right. So from an SEO perspective, it's taken a lot of pressure off me, because as you know, when you're providing SEO for a client, they're ringing going, I haven't seen any difference. Where's my extra traffic? Where's the extra phone calls? That guy is still beating me. They're still on number 1 and I'm number 10. So by concentrating on Google reviews, one, I've got a really easy metric that a business owner can measure. It's like, I just got a message today. I've got a removal company using the cards, and he messaged me and goes, we got 5 Google reviews today. He goes, I am going to be the highest ranked Google review removal company within a couple of months at the rate these cards are working for us. So he's wrapped because he's getting reviews. So it's a vanity metric for him. He can see that it's working, and then being smart about it by doing the responses and everything like that, he will naturally start to rank anyway. And I'm not having to do a lot of the hard work, because the client's the one getting the reviews and the client's the one controlling it. And then all I'm doing is making it easier and making sure that they do it the best way possible. And then if they need me, I can go in and do some of that reputation management stuff with answering the reviews and doing the posts for them. But what I'm hoping is that some of these smaller SEO agencies could see that with a system like this, that they could add a whole nother service provider for their clients. Like, hey, this is a really, really easy way to get reviews. There's no tech stuff. There's no software needed. There's no emails and text messages. Ask, get the review, and then I will answer for you. So it's a great extra service that an SEO agency can offer for their clients as well.
So where would they get these cards?
From me, of course.
Really?
Yes, from me. So you have to come to Australia and I will give you the cards. No, not really. We post them worldwide.
Okay.
But I've given you the info, Mike. So I'm hoping that you might put a link up somewhere so people can go and check
It's
below.
below. Yeah, of course, it's below. See, it's already
There we
there.
go. The link is below. Mike
Yeah,
will tell you where to go. So yeah, so
And
there's
don't
a
forget
link
to like
below.
it.
Like it, absolutely. So the cards are awesome, and at the moment we only launched this back in October. So at the moment, guys, jump on because there's no subscription. It's a once-off price. So these cards will work forever until Google or Facebook change the rules about reviews or phones stop using QR codes or tap cards. So
But you'll figure out the next generation, whatever that is.
absolutely, we'll
Yeah.
come up with something. So when you've got the other review platforms out there, they're up to, between $100 and $200 a month just to use those services. And they're using text or emails, which, as we know, they're okay, but you're not always going to get the reviews or the responses that you want. By getting them in person, you're controlling the whole aspect of it.
Yeah, I know you and I have had a discussion in the past where, even some of these review platforms are pay to play, so.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, if you don't pay to be on our platform, your reviews won't be shown.
Right.
So not very nice at all.
No. Well, we very much appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today from Down Under. We will have you look at the links below us to find out where you can get one of your own cards and start this process. And of course, if you need any help, Danielle is available at what website?
Hello SEO, or the cards are from perfectreview.io.
Which is obviously below as well. So thank you very much. We appreciate you joining us today. Always a pleasure, and we will look forward to the next time we see you again.
You'll have to come and visit me, Mike. I promise.
I'm afraid to come and visit
crocodiles
you.
will eat you.
I am afraid to come and visit you because I have heard of
No.
all the things that will kill me in Brisbane. So, we'll talk about that.
Get your insurance sorted. You'll be safe.
Yes, but you're welcome to join us in Barcelona because we can always go to La Rambla and have a drink, and less likely that you're going to get killed on La Rambla these days. So
I better practice my Spanish then.
yeah, vino, how's that? Can you do that?
Olé.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Mike. I'll speak to you soon.
You take care. Thank you. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button.